Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues, esteemed guests, and fellow researchers. It is a great honor to present our research findings at this esteemed international seminar. My name is Israelianti Arum, and I'm joined by my co-authors, Mrs. Teti Ekasari and Mrs. Neni Widiana from Speech and Language Pathology Study Program, Polytechnic Al-Islam Bandung. Today, we will share insights from our recent study on exploring the development of pragmatic assessments in autism spectrum disorder, a systematic literature review, which we believe can contribute meaningfully to advancing knowledge in this field. My presentation is divided into several key sections. First, I will provide the background of the study. Next, I will discuss the methodology we employed to carry out the research. Then I will present our main findings and analyze the results. Finally, I will conclude with the implications of our study and suggest direction for future research. We look forward to engaging with you during the discussion and welcome any question following the presentation. Before diving into the details, I'd like to give you a brief overview of our study. In essence, our research focuses on identifying the characteristic of pragmatic assessment instruments. We explored qualitative method with systemic literature review, and our findings shed light on the characteristics, strengths, and limitations of the instruments. This overview sets the stage for the more detailed discussion to follow. To begin, I will provide some background to contextualize our study. Autism spectrum disorder is characterized by several challenges, including motor difficulties, sensitivity to change and stimulation, repetitive behavior, and social impairments. One of the most significant issues faced by individuals with autism is communication difficulties. These communication challenges can lead to serious consequences of low academic achievement, suboptimal performance, inadequate quality of life, and deficient physiological health. Unfortunately, the prevalence of autism spectrum disorder keeps growing. Globally, autism affects about 1 in 100 children, and in Indonesia, there are approximately 2.4 million individuals with autism. Our study focuses on the characteristic of available instruments to better understand toward the development of Indonesian pragmatic assessment for autism spectrum disorder. So, specifically, we aim to explore the aspect of pragmatic, method, user, and age applied in the instruments, and the strength of limitation of the instruments. In this study, we employed a qualitative research approach, specifically utilizing by systemic literature review method, as outlined by Grant and Booth in 2009. This method enables a rigorous and structured examination of existing literature, allowing us to comprehensively analyze and synthesize findings across multiple studies. The steps are research question identification, set keywords such as pragmatic assessment, autism spectrum disorder, and instruments, article selections, make inclusion and exclusion criteria, and then the data extraction, and the last is data analysis. Okay, this slide illustrates the process of data analysis in qualitative research, focusing on thematic analysis and result synthesis. Data sources include academic databases such as connected papers, Google Scholars, and published or perished. Data analysis. The first one is thematic analysis, based on Brown and Clark 2012. Involves 6 key steps: deep reading, initial coding, searching for themes, reviewing themes, defining and naming themes, and producing the report. Result synthesis. As outlined by Thomas and Harden 2008, involves line-by-line coding, developing descriptive themes, and generating analytical themes. Together, these approaches support rigorous data analysis, enhancing the reliability and depth of qualitative research findings. Now let's move on to the findings of our research. Here we present the key results that emerged from the analysis, highlighting the main themes and patterns identified through our systemic review. Overall, the analysis revealed four classifications of pragmatic aspects that are consistently present across all assessment instruments. First, language function of speech acts. This involves how speakers use language to perform communication actions, such as requesting, asking, giving information, or refusing. The second, conversational management. This encompasses structural coordination in dialogue, including turn-taking, topic maintenance, and repair strategies. The third, non-literal meaning comprehensions. Competence here requires interpreting ambiguous utterances, including idioms, humor, sarcasm, irony, where surface meaning differs from intended meaning. And then finally, contextual adaptation and nonverbal integration. Effective communications dynamically adjust to social context while synthesizing paralinguistic cues such as prosody, face expression, gesture, intonation, and eye contact. Okay, let's take a closer look at the participant age distribution and the method used in the assessment instruments. The age distribution shows that 40% of participants are in the board age range of 3 to 21 years old, followed by 32% in early childhood of 7 years more, and then 20% are school ages from 7 and 12 years, and 8% are adolescents from 13 to 18 years. Regarding to the methods of instruments, 32% use standardized tests, 28% use naturalistic observation, while both informal reports and semi-structured tasks were used 20% each. Conclusion. To conclude, let me summarize the key takeaways from this study. These findings not only highlight the main insights but also point toward implications for future research and practice. The first, pragmatic assessment has evolved from focusing on basic communication to multimodal approach including paralinguistics, nonverbal, and sociolinguistic aspects, from checklists, natural observation, role play to pictures and video. One half or 54% of instruments rely on subjective third-party reports, limiting capture of real-time communication dynamics. The scope of assessed pragmatic aspects remains narrow, with limited coverage of paralinguistics and nonverbal elements. Most tools target children under 12, leaving adolescents and digital communication needs underserved. Cultural bias is significant as most instruments were developed in Western, low-content cultures, limited applicability in high-context cultures like Indonesia. Nonverbal children and digitally active adolescents are underserved population in current pragmatic assessments. There is a need to develop more inclusive, cross-cultural, and contextually relevant instruments that address a broader range of communication, including nonverbal and technology-mediated forms. And this is the recommendation of this study. Future research should aim to develop more integrated assessment tools, combine the advantages of naturalistic observation and standardized measurement, while also considering cultural and contextual diversity in communication. And here are some references used in this slide. And I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to LL Dicty Region 4 for their continuous support and guidance, which have been instrumental in the success of this study. Additionally, I'm deeply thankful to my institution, Polytechnic Al-Islam Bandung, for providing the resources and environment necessary for this research and presentation. Your encouragement and collaboration have been truly invaluable.